Okay, let's unpack this. Veterans Day. It's a really key moment on the calendar, right?
Yeah.
More than just a day off. It's a solemn time, really essential for honoring the immense courage and dedication and the deep personal sacrifice of everyone who served our nation.
Exactly. And for those of us trying to show that gratitude, that complex feeling, the question pops up pretty fast. How do you actually translate that respect into something, tangible, something meaningful? So our mission today is to really dig into the sources we've gathered, the gift guides, veteran feedback reports, and find those specific, thoughtful ways that make a gesture truly hit home. We're aiming to get past just saying thanks into practical research ways to show it.
Yeah, we've got a really interesting mix of sources here. They seem to break down effective appreciation based on, the intent behind it. Are you thanking a big crowd, maybe at an event? Or are you trying to give something more lasting for their home, maybe? Yeah. Or is it about practical stuff? Comfort. It's less about the price tag, more about matching the gift to the gesture itself.
Right. And when you look at recognizing large groups, the first challenge is just the scale. Organizations often need to acknowledge hundreds of veterans at once, maybe ceremonies, dinners. So the gesture has to be standard enough for easy distribution, but it absolutely can't feel, cheap or mass-produced. You have to maintain the dignity of that moment.
The sources gave us a pretty good blueprint for this kind of high-volume appreciation, those ready-to-give appreciation kits. This seems like where you get quantity, but also that quality control.
Yes, and it's the details, the attention to detail that really makes them work. We're talking about comprehensive sets, like ones with hundreds of durable thank you cards paired with, say, acrylic keychains. And the keychains themselves, maybe they have 12 different patriotic designs, flags, eagles, soldiers, built to last, won't fade easily. But the real insight, I think, from the sources is that how it's presented matters just as much as the item.
You mean like including the individual bags?
Yeah.
The little self-adhesive ones?
Precisely that small detail, it changes everything. It turns a big box of bulk stuff into maybe 120 thoughtful, individually wrapped, ready-to-present gifts. Saves the organizers a ton of time, sure, but it also makes the veteran feel like they got a distinct personal token, not just something scooped out of a bin, It tackles the scale issue without cheapening the appreciation.
Okay, that makes sense. But there's another angle to group recognition too, right? Something maybe a bit more formal, moving from a useful token to a ceremonial piece.
Which brings us to the lapel pins.
Yes, and that transition is important. If the keychains are for that broad, maybe more casual thank you, the pins step in for the formal professional acknowledgement. We are looking at bulk sets, yeah, but the quality mentioned in the sources is absolutely key. Things like being hand-polished, maybe having 24K gold plating, a nice epoxy resin coating for finish. This isn't just any pin. It's designed to be a small, elegant recognition award. Mm-hmm. And the really crucial detail that something veterans apparently often mention is the backing. These use that gold butterfly clutch backing, sometimes called a military clutch.
Yeah.
Why do the sources stress that secure mechanism so much?
Because it ties directly into respect. Mm-hmm. Respect for the uniform, for professional appearance. If a veteran pins this on a suit or a hat, maybe even part of a uniform display, they need it to stay put securely. A flimsy backing it undermines the whole gesture. So the security of that locking mechanism, it signals this is a valuable, lasting token meant for secure, dignified wear in public. The sources point to these as really excellent, enduring awards for retiring personnel across all branches, Army, Navy, Coast Guard, Marines, you name it. They have that necessary professional polish.
Right, that makes perfect sense. So we've covered honoring groups, both formally and informally. But the sources also remind us that sometimes the deepest appreciation isn't just for an event. It needs to become part of the veteran's daily life, their environment.
Yeah, if you think about the bigger picture, post-service life, many veterans look for tangible things in their homes, things that anchor their identity, commemorate their service in a powerful, visual way. So the appreciation shifts focus from a public award to more of a private daily tribute.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting. And where the sources seem to push for high-impact home decor.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about turning a living space into, a real tribute, something like that extra-large framed patriotic canvas art.
That's a significant piece, definitely. And the size is part of the point. We might be talking 30 by 60 inches. Huge. It's meant to be a really striking visual anchor in a room. It powerfully combines military imagery, maybe soldiers on watch, historical scenes with the iconic American flag. The thinking here in the sources isn't just about decorating, it's about providing a permanent, non-temporary reminder of service, good for a main living area or maybe an office.
The sources also spent a good bit of time on the quality needed for something meant to be permanent. Can't fade or look cheap after a year. They specifically mentioned high-definition 𝐏𝐞𝐫 prints.
Right.
Why that particular printing method? Why is it essential here?
Well, 𝐏𝐞𝐫 printing, especially when you pair it with thick premium canvas and environmentally friendly archival ink. That's basically the standard for museum quality reproductions. If you're giving a gift that's meant to be a permanent tribute, you're kind of making a statement about how long their sacrifice matters, right? So archival quality ensures the tribute lasts as long as the memory should. And also, the ease of installation they mentioned comes ready to hang, already stretched, hooks included, that shows respect too. Makes displaying it effortless for the recipient. It's an immediate upgrade to their space.
I like that transition. We've gone from bulk tokens and formal pins to this serious, lasting piece of art. Now let's pivot again, maybe from the wall down to the feet. Because the sources also highlighted gifts that offer everyday comfort and utility, but still carry a personal message.
Right. The sources definitely remind us that sometimes the best tribute isn't something formal you wear on your lapel. It's about supporting the veteran's actual daily life with comfort. And this brings us into that practical utility zone, like with items such as the veteran-themed crew socks.
Right. We're looking at value packs here, maybe 24 pairs, made from a comfy, durable cotton poly blend. Breathable. They're military-themed, yeah, often with various camo patterns. Functional, good for work, everyday stuff. But the camouflage isn't really the main point, is it?
Not at all. The real kind of aha moment in the source material is about the motivational text that's hidden on the soles. It's a subtle thing, but pretty profound when you think about it. Imagine wearing socks that say, "My oath never expires," or "Every veteran is a hero," printed right there, where basically only you can see it.
Huh. It's like a quiet personal boost built right into something you wear every day. Almost like a secret power, isn't it? Something only the wearer knows is there.
Yeah.
Little daily internal reminder.
Exactly. The sources flagged this as a potentially powerful psychological thing. Unlike a banner or a pin, those are external signals for others. The socks offer this deep personal link to their service identity. And it doesn't need public display. It's just a quiet moment of internal pride, woven into something totally necessary and comfortable for daily wear, which might be the purest kind of practical appreciation. They're durable, they fit most people, and they support the veteran physically and maybe mentally through their day.
That difference between external recognition and internal affirmation. It's really interesting. Okay, let's swing back outside now to the external view again and look at gratitude on a bigger scale, like community-wide. Something that lets the veterans' neighbors, the public, join in the celebration. Which brings us to the Veterans Day decorations banner.
Yes, this serves a totally different, but still really crucial purpose: making gratitude visible publicly. The sources really stress that while individual gifts are great, seeing community support makes a veteran feel acknowledged by their whole neighborhood, their town. These are usually pretty big banners, maybe like 1.6 by 8.2 feet, boldly saying, "Thank you, veterans."
And importantly, the sources talk about durability again here, because this isn't a one-time thing. It's meant to be reused, right? A civic gesture.
Absolutely. Typically made from something like 100% polyester fabric, it's designed to resist wrinkles, fading, general wear and tear, meaning you can clean it, store it, and bring it out proudly year after year, not just for Veterans Day, but maybe Memorial Day too, 4th of July, other patriotic holidays.
And with easy ways to hang them, like ropes at the ends. This kind of decoration instantly turns a fence, a house, a front yard into a public statement of thanks. It shifts the focus from just one person getting a gift to a whole community showing it's grateful.
It becomes the visual anchor for that neighborhood solidarity. When a veteran walks outside and sees that message displayed by their community, it just reinforces that their commitment is seen and valued broadly, not just in, isolated ceremonies or by individuals.
So what does this all really mean? Our deep dive seems to confirm that picking the right Veterans Day gift, it's all about genuinely showing appreciation and deep respect for their service. And success really depends on matching the gift to the intent.
Yeah, we've seen that intent broken down into roughly 3 areas. 1, dignified ways to thank many people at once, that scalability piece. 2, high-quality items for a lasting personal tribute, like the art, archival quality. And 3, personalized utility for everyday comfort and that private affirmation, like the socks. So whether you choose those elegant pins or huge canvas or practical socks or a big banner, each item needs to be a tangible symbol that lines up with one of those underlying goals.
It's about moving past just thinking thanks and actually taking the time to choose a tool, whether it's art, a token, clothing, something that truly connects and reminds veterans their huge sacrifices are absolutely not forgotten.
And if we just connect this back to that core idea we saw across the sources, the freedoms we have, the opportunities, the security we enjoy today, they exist entirely because of the courage, the honor, the commitment of the people who stepped up and answered the call to serve. So we'd encourage you to think about how whatever item you choose, whether it's displayed publicly or worn privately, how it doesn't just say thank you once, but how it maybe sets up a way to make sure that vital commitment is valued and remembered continuously. Long after the holiday itself is over, that ongoing valuation, that's the real lasting point of the gift.